Alright, in this lecture, we're going to learn how to add values and highlights and shadows to our forms. So the first form we're going to go over with this on is the cube, because this is the most simple form to do this on. So let's start off by drawing our cube. So we'll draw our simple square, and then we'll draw our lines coming off, and then we'll just go ahead and quickly connect those. Alright, so there's our simple cube. The first thing you want to do when you're creating highlights and shadows is you need to decide where your light source is coming from. So in this case, we're going to have our light source coming from this side. So I'm going to draw my light source right there, and it's going to be hitting our cube from that angle. So the first thing we know is that we know that this top surface is going to be our highlight. That means that it's going to be the brightest area. The next area that's going to be brightest is this side, which is going to be our mid-tone shadow. And then our core shadow, which is the darkest shadow, is going to be this side right here. And we know that this side is going to be our darkest shadow because it's on the opposite side of our source light. So let's start by filling in our core shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in this area with a very dark pencil. Great. Then let's go ahead and fill in our mid-tone shadow. Now, the reasons why it's called mid-tone is because it is the middle tone between our core shadow and our highlight. So we want to get a gray in there that's somewhere in between this dark color and this white. So probably somewhere about here should be good. All right, perfect. So now we have our light source. So this is our light source right here. And then we have our highlight. So this right here is our highlight. And then we have our mid-tone. So this right here is our mid-tone. And then we have our core shadow. So this right here is our core shadow. Now, there's one last shadow we have to add in here before it's complete, and that's our cast shadow. So what our cast shadow is it's just a shadow that's cast off of our shape and onto the surface it's sitting on. So it would basically be coming off like so, and then we can go ahead and fill that in with a darker value. And we usually want our cast shadow to be darker than our mid-tone shadow. And we can just fill that in like so. And the further away we get from the object, the lighter our shadow is going to become. Now, a really good example of a cast shadow, so you can understand this better, is let's say that we have somebody's nose here, okay? So there's somebody's nose right there. Now, whenever somebody's standing out in the sun, they usually are going to get a cast shadow being cast from their nose. So since their nose sticks off, kind of like the number 7, it's going to cast a shadow on their upper lip area.